Hi, this is Billy McNamara, and you're watching the stories behind the pictures.
Bum, 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 Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Bum, 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 bum. Make him the cutest that I've ever seen. Bum, 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 bum. Please turn on your magic beam. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream.
Do you want to be somebody famous?
I am. I am Ron Galella, Paparazzo superstar.
So this is in 1988. My big break, my big movie was Stealing Home with Jodie Foster. And it was about to come out, and it had been screening in New York and LA. Out of the blue, I was in New York City. I got a phone call from this person. And I answer the phone, I go, hello. And this female voice says, hi, you may not believe this, but I am Brooke Shields. And I recognized the voice. I'd had a crush on her since Pretty Baby. I said, no, I recognize your voice. Yes, you are Brooke Shields. And she said, oh, okay. Well, listen, I saw a screening of your movie and it's really good. And I just wanted to call you and welcome you to the business. So I got my welcome call from none other than Brooke Shields. And she said, well, if you're ever around and you ever want to meet up or have coffee or have dinner, let me know. We had dinner at an Italian restaurant on the Upper East Side. She lived on the Upper East Side as well. At dinner, she said, oh, by the way, I'm going to this big event. Would you like to escort me to the event? And that's when it kind of began. I was like her escort to these big events. I think they got me the tuxedo. I didn't have a tuxedo. They did all these things and they were training me how to do it with the limousine. We would go to these big events like that big event. It was like a total fish out of water. It's like, what am I doing? All these celebrities. Robin Williams was at the table, Mikhail Baryshnikov. So all of a sudden I go from this guy who's had this, small life. And then all of a sudden I'm Brooke Shields' date to all these events. One afternoon, I get a phone call from Brooke. Hey, I'm going to go to a Woody Allen movie screening for his new movie that's coming out. So I'm thinking it's going to be a screening, just, full theater. And it's like 3 or 4 people. So it's Woody Allen, Brooke Shields, Billy McNamara. I'm sitting one person away from Woody Allen, and it's just us. Woody Allen's doing the screening for Brooke Shields. Look at that. I can't believe how badly my tuxedo fits. I look like, I don't know. It's the craziest thing. That's the craziest picture. We were in a movie together called Dream a Little Dream. I look back on my time with Meredith in that movie, and I know she had a little bit of a crush on me. I was smitten with a production assistant on set I met. And I had been nominated for this thing called the ACE Award, which was competition to the Emmys. I was nominated. So it's Billy McNamara. Nobody knows who that is. Then there's Jason Robards, James Woods, John Voight, who won, and Jack Lemmon. At this dinner with this girl, Carrie, I asked her, would you be my date to the award ceremony? So the morning of the event, pouring rain. I live in Malibu on the beach. So I had to walk in the pouring rain about half a mile to the limo. She calls me, she says, oh, I'm so sorry. I got back with my boyfriend and he's really angry. He doesn't want me to go with you. 5 minutes? The morning of? You're kidding. So I'm going to go now with no date? In my panic, I called Meredith. Meredith, it's Billy Mack. She goes, oh, what's going on, Bill? I said, I've got an emergency. Can you be my date to this event? She goes, when is it? I said, it's right now. And she's such a cool girl that she said, well, I'll do my best to put herself together in 18 minutes. That's why the suit probably shrunk on me, because I literally soaking wet. I just worked with Mark Harmon, and this guy has never liked me, and I'm not 100% sure why. He called me out of the blue before this event, and he said, hey, I heard you're going to be on our team for the Celebrity Dodger match. And I said, yeah, I'm real excited. He goes, well, Billy, you're not much of an athlete. You could come and watch as a spectator, but I really prefer if you didn't play on our team. Anyway, I showed up, and of course he wasn't happy. So there you go. But at least I had the balls to show up and to not let Mark Harmon intimidate me. But of course, doing that, I would never work on any of his TV shows. Surviving the Game was a movie I did. Charles Dutton John McGinley, F. Murray Abraham. So Erika and I were together. We met on Chasers. I was very lucky to be with Erika Eleniak. I was forced to go to a premiere. My agent mentioned, Billy, you got to go to this premiere. I'm sitting in the movie theater by myself. All of a sudden, this girl pops out of this cake. And she's like the hottest girl I've ever seen in my life. A guy like me will never have a girl like that. I don't even want to look at her. About 6 months later, I'm doing a movie called Chasers with Erika Eleniak. And we fall in love on set. I've never seen that picture before you sent it to me. I mean, I wish I looked like that today. Since you sent it to me, I show it to all these girls now. I'm like, look, that's what I used to look like. And they're like, no. I'm like, yes. And they don't believe it. That was a thing that I was set up on a blind date with a girl who's a playmate. That girl met another guy at the event and went home with him. So yeah, we both got started together back in New York. We did after school specials. And by the way, his name used to be Charlie Walsh. We changed it to Dylan later on. The other actors was me, Dylan Walsh, Frank Whaley, and then another guy who also works a lot, Bill or William O'Leary. And the other actor in it was a guy you might know, James Earl Jones. I don't think those guys had done anything. I think it was their first thing. I had done one thing before called The Beat, and that's it. You know, our careers went on a great trajectory. All of us did.